by the chairman of both of Dublin's really old clubs, UCD Marian and Killester. Great rivalry between the two clubs. Delighted to have Fearon, the chairman, to have you here with us. An interesting game and a great rivalry between the two clubs.
Absolutely, Declan. Thanks for everything you're doing here at the moment, but we're not playing great. We need to step it up. What do we got? 27 points and a half. Just ain't going to cut it against Killester. You know, from back in the day with Eamon, and I'm sitting beside Paul Meany and Martin, we have had a great rivalry with Killester. We need to step it up now. Obviously, it's just not happening for us. So 27 points is not going to beat Killester. You know.
And you have a number of players who are quite capable of turning it around. You've got the likes of Conor Meany, Terence King, Owen Chubb has done reasonably well, but you actually need more from these, and maybe a little bit more from Kevin Foley.
Yeah, I was surprised how long it took Kevin to come into the game. Kevin is a high energy player, and Kevin gets people going on defence. He talks a little bit, you know, sometimes he talks to the refs, but sometimes you need that, get guys going, get guys motivated. I'd like to see Kevin and Baines and Terence play at the same time. Kevin can play in the shooting guard position. We need to up it. I mean, we were looking at it there, and I said to Paul, we take those 5 guys in a pickup game, they'd play better than they played in the first quarter. I mean, we gave them a 13-point run, and we had 7 points down with the ball. We led it back to, I think it was 16 there, you know, just before we made the last 2 baskets. So, I mean, we really need to step it up. It's just not good enough at the moment, you know.
Colm Kelly is chairman of Killester Basketball Club. I think it's fantastic to see 2 young people here like yourself and Alan. Obviously, the first year, disappointment last week in the Cup, but your first year as chairman has been a reasonably successful one, if you don't mind me saying it.
It's nothing to do with me. It's all to do with the team and the people in the back making it happen. So it's just great to watch, and it's just great to actually see everybody stepping up and being a team, even when they're not part of the actual physical people on the court. So it's really good to see.
And off the court, Colm, we spoke briefly before about the work that you personally and the club is doing in Zambia. Have you any more news on how the twinning project is going in Zambia?
Yeah, everything's up and running. The kids were off school there for a bit because it's the rainy season now, so they just don't go to school. But the court's up, and they're looking to try and, you know, we're looking to try and maybe bring some young people over maybe next year or maybe late this year to see if they want to try and get involved and give it a bit back. So yeah, it's a slow start, but it's nice that it's up and running now. So it's good. And the kids over there, the gear from O'Neill's, it's great to see all the kids running the gear from O'Neill's. It really is. So no, it's really, really good. Really. I'm just really, really impressed with it. Really, really impressed.
Alan, in your tenure as chairman, you've taken a lot of work into the underage, the juveniles, as Colm does here. His own daughter is involved. You've got development kids coming out of your ears.
Absolutely. I mean, we had a look at our numbers there 3 years ago when I took over as chairman. We had about 80, 90 players in the club. We've now 90 kids under 12. We have our academy, 6 to 9 year olds. We now actually have a team under 10, a team under 11, and a team under 12. Our move to Oakland was, you know, a rip-roaring success. We were in 6 different gyms, and we got the sense of community by getting into the one gym and having everybody, like I used to play out in New Park. We had everything together, the B team, the C team, the D team, the underage kids, everybody getting to know each other, and certainly that move has been fantastic for us. I mean, we're not as big as Killester, obviously, with the women's team, etc., but we now have a team in Super League, as we can see, D1, D2, D3, D4, all the age groups, and as I said, right down to the academy. So it's the coaches, it's the managers and the parents that we really have to thank for all of that. Just like here, I'm sure, in Killester, where everybody's doing it on a volunteer basis, you know.
And that sounds a little bit like Killester. You're very fragmented, but also you've got this great development project.
Yeah, well, it's great, as you're saying. It's when you have it from the core up, from the kids, the development up, and you have all the underage teams coming into the Super, the Premier League, or even to the senior, like Division 1, Division 2 men, women. It's great to see it. People stick with the game because it's such a good game to play. So it stands to everybody who gets involved. It really does. It really does.
I'm going to put the same question to both of you before we go back. The future, according to Bernard O'Byrne and Paul Meany, is very good for basketball. What do you think?
I think we lost our way a little bit. We need to bring basketball back. I think what all the coaches around the country, I talk to a lot of them, for underage is fantastic and in the schools. But what I would really like to see is we make basketball a spectator sport again. Be the same deck. Okay, so we have basketball for basketball people, and I think we need to do with the likes of Michael, with the likes of Terence, etc. You know, get the scores back up to the hundreds and the 104s. Make basketball a spectator sport. And we could look at this crowd, and maybe, you know, you have nearly a full house here, which is fantastic. We have doubled this crowd with people queuing to get in, and we can't recognise it. We made basketball a participatory sport very successfully, but we need to make it a spectator sport again, where we could look at that, and there's people in the area in Clontarf and Killester just going to come out to this game. And similarly, we have the whole gamut of Paul's Bridge, out to Stillorgan, out to Bray, and we're the only Super League team. Yet once again, I could look in the crowd and I'll name 90% of the people. And I'll name 100% of the people that will travel from Killester or from Vincent's, you know, over. We need to get the neutrals back, looking at basketball as something that they might do on a Saturday night, like they've taken on rugby, like they've taken on the GAA, the club championships or whatever. There's no reason why basketball couldn't be attracting 1,000 or 2,000 people in 2 or 3 venues in Dublin and Cork and Galway, etc. That's good.
Colm, I get into trouble quite regularly and got into trouble again in our discussion where I talk about basketball in the 80s, because to me that's when basketball was basketball, and we had great times. We had the players, we had the clubs, we had... I remember 1,000 people. I don't know how we got them in, but we had 1,000 people here in this gymnasium for a Neptune game. And can you see us getting back to that?
I can see us getting back to it. It's with all the hard work we're doing here, you're doing with the streaming, getting it out to people, and plus it's with the underage as well. If you have a lot of underage people coming up through, the parents will get involved, the word gets back out again, and it starts to get, you know, exciting for everybody. So yeah, future's bright.
And with the future bright and the big development work on both clubs, congratulations to our 2 chairmen. You've done a fantastic job over the last 3 years, Alan. And the new kid on the block, Colm, you've really done a great job, guys. And the very best of luck, and may the best team win tonight.
Thanks very much, Jack. I appreciate it. Thank you.